quiet. You can hear me clap 3 times. MD, what's his name? What's his name? Y'all ready? Yes. You want everybody? You all ready? We're going to start with the next portion. Sit down. Stand up, 14. This has been made easy. But you all understand, dealing with the different personalities, this is no small undertaking. So with the core team, we definitely want to thank all that spend time, because there's no paid positions other than this core. Where's our executive director? And Lord knows she earns that. We're sorry to have our executive director who does an absolutely wonderful job. So before we move any further, Pastor Murphy, if you will please come and open us with a prayer as well as blessing the food. And ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to bring the meals to you. And it's from Pebbles to Go. We're going to entice you with Cuban food tonight, okay? So we're going to actually bring the plates to you. Pastor.
Thank you, Deborah. Let us pray. Father, in the mighty name of your Son, Jesus. God, what a wonderful privilege it is to be able to come before your glorious throne. Lord, to give praise and worship to your holy and righteous name. And to say thank you for all of your bountiful blessings. Lord, to say thank you for the men and women who have put their hearts and hands and head together to help those who are less fortunate. We're so thankful for the STEP program, the coaches, mentors, volunteers. We thank you for the participants who have a desire to want to better their lives. We're praying now that all that they have learned, that they will be able to apply it, and that it will have a multiplying effect, that we will be able to truly bring about an effective change within our community. We thank you, Lord. Thank you, God, for being that perfect example of caring for everyone. We ask now that you would bless the food, hands that prepare it. Let it be for the nourishment of our bodies, us into your service. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Next we have on the program You see Dr. Kanika Tomlin, and as busy as she is, she overbooked herself for this evening, so she's in streams. But we have Ms. Nikki Gaffney-Capehart, who is the Director of Urban Affairs, who I am quite fond of myself, who is actually going to come and bring the meeting from the city of St. Petersburg, Ms. Nikki Gaffney-Capehart. Isn't she cute? Thank you, Ms. Deb. Let's give Deb a round of applause. And listen, I know I'm here to bring greetings and inspiration, but I have to tell you, I am inspired by you. Families, you give me the inspiration to keep running in this race that can make us so weary in the work at times, right? We know that what we're doing here today and what you've been able to achieve is what's really blessing our community. So the inspiration comes from you. So I want to give you another round of applause for inspiring us by making a righteous risk. You took the risk on this program. And for those of us in the room who know that we are no different than these families, we grew up with them, childhood girlfriends in the audience, selling flips, running the streets. We know that this system right now needs this type of program to help change mindsets. We know that entrepreneurial spirits can continue to grow such that we will increase our income, not just with a paycheck, but with the way that we can pass down generational wealth to our children. So we want to be able to do that. Take that underground market, whether it be selling flips or whatever, write your business plan and take it to the next level. Saving money for your families so that we know we can make sure their education continues beyond high school. These are all the ways that we want to inspire each other and continue to do what we heard. We have to put that pedal to the metal on this gas. This is just the beginning. 2 to 3 years in, imagine what it will be like 5 to 10 years from now. See, St. Petersburg, we're not afraid to lead the pack. We have to be able to step into that and know and honor that we took this righteous risk and where's Gypsy? I know she'll be probably working. But when we talked early on about how the city of St. Petersburg could really support this program, Gypsy and I had one of our little conversations and we said, you know what? Programming. Supporting programming is the way that you do that. We wanted to look at staff, but we knew that the results and the numbers of what POC was already doing, bringing Urban League on board, and wrapping our hands around families, parental modeling, all of the things that we know work is what we're here to celebrate today. So again, with that, I want to thank President Stacy for starting that mindset of positivity, that mindset shift of how you can support your family by having a positive attitude towards increasing your income and getting out of poverty. Because we know it all starts with the mind. If you don't make that determination in your mind, all of the other work is for naught. And when you can pass that mindset down to your child, the impact that it then has on our community is multiplied. So that's what we want to continue to do. We don't want people to bring us into a mindset of negativity and lack. We want to talk about a mindset of positivity and that we can do whatever it is we want to do in this community if we come together. So let's keep that in mind, inspire each other, and know that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So let's not get twisted. We got a long way to go, but we do have something to celebrate. So with that, I thank you again for inspiring me to keep working and running until the sun goes down. So thank you. When she says run, she truly runs. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I think whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloodied but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. There is a reason why this poem was placed in your program. While imprisoned in Robben Island Prison, where he was incarcerated for 27 years, Nelson Mandela, who later served as the president of South Africa and won the Nobel Peace Prize, recited this poem to himself and other prisoners as a way to bolster their spirits and motivate them to press onward. He felt empowered by the message of self-mastery. And the reason why we put this poem is because we want not only the families participating in this program, but everyone in this room to understand that you are undefeated and unconquered. Undefeated and unconquered. Would this poem have made you feel better if you were sitting in a jail cell, what, 4x6? No lights, no television, no cable, no internet. Half of us lost our mind after Hurricane Irma, didn't we? And you could have just recited this poem over and over again and it would not have made you feel better. But that just goes to show the power of inspiration and hope. And we just want the families to understand that you are not in it alone. And that we are just so encouraged that you took the time to come and participate. So with that being said, we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to serve dinner. But I have to acknowledge the fact that the families are getting gift bags. And one of the missions of 2020 is to actually support Black-owned and minority-owned businesses. So in the bags, you have candy apples by Sweet Sisters. They actually make custom candy apples, and they're absolutely gorgeous. You might not want to eat them, but they're absolutely gorgeous, as well as Skin Candy, was another one of our Black-owned businesses. So we try to put our money where our mouth is and support Black business, as well as we employed Jay Dow's photography for tonight. Here he is. This young man has done an incredible job, and please feel free to support him in his photography as well as his videography effort. And where is Maury Eventful? Where is Miss Tiffany Moore? Maury Eventful. She's also one of our Black business owners who actually worked with the decorations and graduated from our CATCH program. So again, as many opportunities as we have, we do try to support Black-owned businesses. So with that being said, we're going to take a minute so that you all can get some of this delicious Cuban food.
We now call on a gentleman who has spent a significant amount of time lending not only his church facilities, but his own self to the 2020 task force. Pastor of this great church, Pastor Murphy.
Thank you so very much, Watson. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Truly it is an honor to be here. We give all honor to our Most High God. And I just want to say that the vision that Mount Zion has is to bring about effective change within the 2-mile radius of this church and beyond. I didn't know how that was going to happen. But because of 2020 plans, the task force, I can see the blueprint, the strategy on how to make that happen. Today's briefing is to punctuate the fact that the Federal Census Bureau shows Black poverty declining for a second year in a row in St. Petersburg. I am to celebrate some of the people who are contributing to this historic milestone, including not only partner organizations who are doing new and innovative things to help more people grow their income to above poverty line, but the everyday people like those here tonight who are working hard to make life better for their families. I want to say a special thank you, especially to those foundational founders who stepped out on faith to make the 2020 plan vision for poverty eradication. Among many are the City of St. Petersburg, Allegheny Franciscan Ministries, Bon Secours Foundation, Bon Secours Mission Fund, and Florida Blue Foundation, among, again, as I said, many others. On behalf of the 2020 core team, just want to welcome you here at Mount Zion and thank all of you for your support.
Some years ago, when we received information about the 2020 plan, there were a lot of questions in the community. There were a lot of questions from the folk who just like, what's the 2020 plan and how do you do anything about eliminating poverty by 30% by the year 2020? And some of us decided we had the vision that we believe it could happen. And it's happening. But it was not with one organization. Too many times in our community, we've had one organization to try to do everything. In this instance, we work together with every organization possible to make sure that we make the plan a reality. We're working together, and that's what contributed to the results that we have right now. Educational institutions like Pinellas Technical College and St. Petersburg College, they were right there on the front line with us. Other nonprofit providers work with us. Not just the Urban League, Pinellas Opportunity Council, who we partnered together, the Sandlin Center, and I don't know, and PERP. We actually worked together. That was no, this is my client, this is my turf, you're stepping up. It was none of that. We all worked for the benefit of bringing people out of poverty. And certainly the numbers already show it. The 2020 core team of 13 people who are listening to the annual report that you have done everything they could to make sure that we stay on task. And that is to eliminate poverty in the Black community. We'd be remiss if we did not acknowledge one group, and that is the Franciscan Allegheny Franciscan Ministries, who, when we went to them and said we need to launch this effort, they said we will help fund it. And then following Allegheny were many other organizations then who jumped in. And I don't know if Cherie Wright is here from Allegheny, but certainly if you all see her, let her know that we support her efforts. When this effort started, there was a guy who was the mayor of this city who had just got to be mayor. And we were concerned that we were going to talk to him about eradicating poverty, and we were concerned, well, is he there? Mayor Kreisman at that time said to us, and this was no election stuff, he had just became mayor, and he said, I'm there. He said, I will do what I can. And then he led city council to support us establishing the 2020 plan as our way of eradicating poverty. And so we thank you, Mayor, and we thank the city council back then who stood the task in addition to our county commission and school board members. Their help has been invaluable in moving the dial. And if we could do what we've done thus far, we believe that by 2020 we will meet that goal and even more, because the people who we work with believe in what we do, and the people around here standing in addition to the hundreds of organizations throughout this community that have begun funding the 2020 effort and said, I want a part of that. And by them putting their parts in it, we want you to know that we appreciate this effort. Thank you. I know some Pinellas Turtle League board members are here, so my board chairman is over there. I just acknowledge him because he signed my paycheck. But you know, Pinellas Opportunity Council was the lone wolf for years, working poverty, trying to do what they could do. And I tell you, Carolyn had been there for 40 years. 41 years. I've known her for that long, working at Pinellas Opportunity Council. So when it came time to begin to talk about how you eradicate poverty, she was not one to say, well, that's what we do. Hers was, let's do it together. Carolyn King.
Thank you, Watson. As he said, I am Carolyn King, the Executive Director of Pinellas Opportunity Council, which is the local community action agency, and we are one of 1,100 community action agencies throughout the country and 36 in the state of Florida. And we've been here in St. Petersburg since 1968. And I have not been the executive director for all 41 of those years. I was actually in preschool. No. I've been the executive director since 2012. Prior to that, I managed accounting and HR. But the mission of Pinellas Opportunity Council is to alleviate the conditions of poverty, revitalize local communities, and promote economic self-sufficiency. Our mission within itself makes us a prime candidate to work cohesively with the 2020 task force in their vision to reduce poverty in South St. Pete by 30% by the year of 2020. So it was a no-brainer for us to join in this collective effort, and the collective impact approach that they have taken has proven to be very instrumental and very impactful, as you will see in the annual report that is done. Since we have been involved with 2020 in reducing poverty in South St. Pete, we have started 5 new poverty exit programs, and they have been funded in part by many funders: the City of St. Petersburg, Bon Secours Health System, Career Edge Collaborative funders, and our own funder, which is Department of Economic Opportunity, which funds community services block grant programs. And we have operated new programs that have added to the success that the Urban League and all the other poverty exit programs in this community have done to experience the results that we are here to celebrate tonight. How do we do this? The approach that Pinellas Opportunity Council uses is a very simple, straightforward approach. We have trained, experienced case managers who work one-on-one, hand-in-hand with persons who want to take their lives to the next level. We do not judge people. We wrap our arms around them, help them set goals that they can achieve and attain, and we do everything that we can with the resources that we can pull together to help them attain those goals. For example, I'd like to tell you about 3 of the successful program participants that have come through our doors over these last 2 years. Ashley, who was a single mother of 5, when she started with us, she only worked part-time as a medical assistant, and she didn't have any transportation. She had the support of her family to help her with transportation in order for her to be able to get to school and to work. She now works full-time as she works at Northside Hospital as a phlebotomist. One of the things that we helped her do was become a national certified phlebotomist. And so she now works full-time in that. Having gone through this program, she needed to repair her credit. So we worked with her with financial literacy and debt reduction, as well as credit repair. And so she has her credit in order. She has a good job. She has benefits, including a 401k plan. And so now she was able to purchase a car. She didn't have transportation because she didn't have the credit. So now she has the credit, she has the employment, she has a car, And because she has shown that she can become a homeowner, she's eligible now to apply for the Habitat for Humanity program in March of 2018. We also have Jakayla, who was a single mother of 2 when she came into the program. She was unemployed, and she only had cash assistance and SNAP as her only source of income. And so she enrolled in the CNA program, CNA class, and she completed that, and she worked as a CNA at the hourly rate of $9. PLC also assisted her with tuition, with summer camp for her children. We also provided financial literacy for her, debt reduction, credit repair. That wasn't enough for her getting to the CNA level. She then came into our healthcare career ladder program, wanting to go higher in the health profession. So she enrolled in our career ladder program. She is now a national certified phlebotomist, and she's employed with Quest Diagnostics at $14 an hour. About is Lisa, who, when she came into the program, she was a divorced mother of 2. She was laid off from her employment. She worked as a software tech. The company downsized, so she lost her job. The only source of income she had was child support and SNAP. She enrolled in an LPN program at P-Tech, and we were able to assist her with some wraparound services, child care, financial counseling, background screening, purchase of uniforms, state board exam, and CPR class. She worked diligently with her classes. She passed her LPN license test, and she is now an LPN working at Freedom Square Retirement Center at $19 an hour. What can you do going forward to help us? We, and when I say we, I don't mean just POC. I mean all the people that are surrounded here, all the community services organizations, all those organizations that are helping people put their lives on a path to exit poverty. We need the continued financial support. We need volunteers in order for our programs to continue so that the impact that we're having in these 2 years can be multiplied, and the 2020 plan vision will catch on, and we will not only reach the 30% mark, we will exceed the 30% mark.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here, and as we like to say, the sun is certainly shining on St. Pete today. I want to say a special thank you to our organizers and partner, Gypsy Gallardo and everyone at the 2020 plan. Thank you to Watson Haynes and everyone at the Urban League, and to Carolyn King and the Pinellas Opportunity Council. And finally, thank you to Mount Zion for hosting us. We wouldn't be here without any of you all. Today, we are here to celebrate good news. We are here to mark an important milestone. And while other cities around the country saw their poverty rate rise in the last year, in St. Petersburg, the African American poverty rate is now at an all-time low. Now, this didn't happen on accident. The actions that we took together were purposeful and different. We made a conscious decision to do things differently, to take a different approach to how we addressed poverty, to move from poverty management to poverty eradication. This was a decision made from the beginning of my administration, recognizing that we could no longer address poverty in the same manner and expect different outcomes. We decided to invest in things that hadn't been invested in before, at levels that hadn't been done before, all with the understanding that the results of our efforts might not manifest immediately. So let me stress 2 important points about this good news. First, While this is good news, it is not a sign that we should take our foot off the gas. We should not slow down. Now, I will tell you all, after Hurricane Irma, I was walking around a lot of communities here south of Central. And what I saw was communities that are vulnerable. What I saw was people that when they lost power and lost food, they were in trouble because they didn't have the resources to replace that food. Everything is more difficult when you're poor. So we still have a lot of work to do to reduce poverty in St. Petersburg and specifically in the African American community. That's why my 2018 budget is putting $674,659 toward intervention and prevention programming. I believe that one of the keys to fighting poverty is early intervention. And that's why in fiscal year 18 we're investing $250,000 in early childhood learning and intervention for the kids who need it most. We're investing $125,000 in after-school youth employment and $275,000 in summer youth employment. We're investing $35,000 in workforce readiness programs. We're also investing $35,000 in administrative support to advance the 2020 plan and another $30,000 for the 2020 wraparound services program, which has lifted people out of poverty. And that's only the beginning. It's just a sample of what we're doing with these great partners that are standing up here with us. This important work needs to continue. And on one last important note, let's remember that this is the United States Census reporting this data. They are the scoreboard on this. They are the source for news stories across the nation as it relates to poverty. So don't let anyone tell you anything different. And I can assure you that President Trump did not manipulate last year's data to help Rick Reisman or the good people of 2020. The bottom line is, while trends are important, what's really significant is this. Real people are being lifted out of poverty. Lives are being improved. And real people are being impacted. And we're not just talking about numbers on a spreadsheet here. These are real people. And I will keep working every single day with these great community partners to ensure that we get to zero. So thank you all for being here.
Good evening. My name is Rod Cunningham, and I am the director of the STEP program. And we have one of our successful families here who would like to speak.
Good evening. My name is Emma Lauderdale. I first heard of this program through actually my job. So this program has been a really big blessing to me and my family, and also in my professional life. The encouragement that Mr. Cunningham and his wife gives us every night is so inspiring. And also Miss Stacy, which is my mentor, she was able to help me get back in nursing school. Unfortunately, the school that I was at got rid of their evening program, so which left me with no option but to drop out because I do have other responsibilities outside of school. So Miss Stacy was able to get me at P-Tech, able to get my credits transferred to P-Tech. And again, like I said, this program has been a really big blessing to myself, my family, and just teaching us just to speak positive words and to speak it into existence. Because the mind is a powerful thing. And we don't know that sometimes if we're thinking negatively or speaking negatively, that's what happens in our life. So that is something I have been living by since I started this program, and it has helped me out tremendously, and as well as in my professional life, telling my clients what I've learned in this, as well as the budgeting classes that we've had, and also the credit counseling classes that we've had thus far has really helped me try to get my credit together and actually realize where all my money is being spent, which is on food. So majority of it is really spent on food and just helping me set a budget. And teaching me how to set a budget and how to stick by that budget. So like I said again, this program has been a really big blessing to me and my family, and whoever I recommend anyone, I know that it's a commitment. You do have to come every Tuesday. However, you will get the services that you need. You will get whatever you need your counselors and your advisors and stuff are here for you. So like I said, it's been a really big blessing, and I'm really thankful to be in this program. Thank you.
So at this time, I would like our families of the STEP program to please stand and be recognized. Also, our coaches from the Pinellas County Urban League, would you please stand? Ms. Stacy, Ms. Dale, and Ms. Lisa. Our volunteer coordinator from the Pinellas County Urban League, Calvin, raise your hand over there. Our volunteer coordinator, Mr. Lee Smith, please stand and wave your hand. She brings at least 10 students out every week. And she brings 10 students out every Tuesday night to mentor our children, to teach them how to read, teach them how to write cursive, because they know they don't do that anymore in school. And so she teaches them math and all of those things. So she brings the students out every single week to help with our children. And any other volunteers, please raise your hand. If I missed any volunteers for the STEP program, thank you. All of our students, raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you. Somewhere in the hallway. Thank you. And before I pass the mic, I just want to thank my boss here, Mr. Watson, the Reverend Watson Haynes, for all that he does to allow me to come to this program and work with this program, as I have other duties as well. So to make sure that I'm free up from this. And I cannot forget Pastor Murphy, because he's opened up his facility to allow us every Tuesday night to come here and do what we do. And of course, Corey and Gypsy, I thank you for what you do, allowing me to be familiar with this program to bring to the Urban League in the first place. So I'm going to pass the mic over to you, Ms. Gypsy.
We appreciate you, Gypsy. I know you don't have to say that. You are watching. You really are. And this community owes a debt of gratitude to you. This has never happened.
Amen.
In the history of this county.
Amen.
Never. So now we open the floor up for any of you in the media who would like to ask any questions that we cannot answer.
How significant is this drop down? Talk about that.
It's very significant. You know, for years, people have been coming to this community, other organizations, using our numbers, go out, they get a grant, and they never come back to the community. And so they get funded year after year after year. Significance on this is just that. These people are in this community, we're working together, and we're not counseling people out of poverty. Every one of these agencies is working to coach people out of poverty so that they can go back and coach their family members out of poverty. This model that we're working with is we're working with families and not just individuals. That's what makes it good. And the other part is we don't fight each other. We figure out as an organization, if this is your space, come on in it. If it's not your space, that's fine. We'll find somebody to get in that space. But our goal is to move people out of poverty and not move ourselves into some poverty. So it's very powerful. This is a model for the nation. Too many states in this country. Too many states in this country adopt the same attitude. We just fund them stuff, and you don't have to talk to them. Just make sure you come back to us. In this instance, 2020's ability to coordinate our efforts. So we're not out there trying to fight over a dime or a dollar, or $10,000, $500,000. 2020 says, let's work together as a task force, let's bring partners to the table, and the partners that come to the table see how the dollars they invest in 2020 go a long way based on the numbers. They're there. It's obvious.
What happens after 2020?
What happens after 2020? We move to 2025, we move to 2035. Our goal is to eradicate poverty. And I tell you, if you don't have that, if you don't have the goal of totally eradicating poverty, you're missing the limit. You gotta say, it's like school. All of our schools should be A schools. Not 2 of them A and 14 of them C. Every one of them. And so to eradicate poverty, we want it down to 0. We'll do everything we possibly can. These groups working together to do just that. Any other questions? I think there's some other, tomorrow morning we're kicking off a major event in Clearwater Beach. That's the next step, which is housing. And we want to thank Carl Nurse, who is going to be part of that national conference. And we will be there as an Urban League also, to kick off affordable housing. Because we're talking about affordable housing has to be the next step. Move people, and thanks to Jordan Park for all of the support you've given us with the resident. But to move people out of public housing into home ownership. Carl Nurse.
To what they said. What normally happens, Gypsy says, she asked me, it's a trick question. So what's different about Agenda 2020? I guess my eyes got wide. She says, well, Carl, everybody else is working to do financial literacy training so that poor people can manage their money better. So the goal here is different. It's to raise people's incomes. We also do the financial literacy part. Another piece of it is income, and that's what is radically different. What is normal in cities is we do bricks and mortar and public space. And all across the country we've tried that for 50 years. The only problem is it doesn't change anything in the community. It doesn't change anything in families. And so we have to identify ways of how can we raise incomes, and in the housing part, how can we provide a pathway to home ownership? Because for 85% of people in the country, most 89% of their net worth is their house. And so in a town like St.Pete, where 40% of people do not own a house, you've got 40% of people who effectively have no net worth. And so if we can ramp up the work that we're doing on affordable housing, and that takes it's the same thing. It's an army of us. If we can do that, build a lot more affordable housing, provide the financial literacy training, and the increase in incomes, we can have a lot more homeowners who live here who frankly are paying rents far in excess of what they would have to pay if they were homeowners. And so it's a big job. The housing is just part of it, but it has to be done collectively. And I just can't say enough about the vision that Gypsy Gallardo had. I think it was 10 years ago. And for the first number of years, people looked at her like, yeah, that's really going to happen. But it really is happening. And you're seeing double-digit reductions in poverty happening year after year. So I would just say congratulations to everybody and thank you.
Also, the other piece to this, out of the housing agenda, is a gentleman who really got this ball going. Also, that is our County Commissioner, Ken Welch, CRA.
Giving honor to God, I want to also thank Pastor Murphy for allowing us to be here. On behalf of the County Commission, I just want to thank everybody who was here for your partnership over the years. When you talk about the CRA, Carl Nurse and I, back when we were young men, and I actually had hair, started talking about a CRA that was dedicated to poverty. That had never happened in the history of Pinellas County. In fact, the county had a rule that said they would not do a CRA if it wasn't in the downtown. Now, about 10 or 12 years ago, Gypsy Gallardo asked the question, why don't y'all have a CRA to address poverty? The makeup of the city council, the makeup of the mayor's office at the time, and the makeup of the county commission would not allow that. But over time, elections mattered. The council changed, the mayor changed, and the county commission changed. And we created, a couple years ago, the first CRA ever dedicated to poverty. And it's not a small CRA. It's almost all of South St. Pete. And that will bring in, I think now, is it $90 million, Carl, over the next 30 years? $90 million dedicated to eradicating poverty. Y'all need to give that a hand.
Yeah.
I just want to thank everybody here. The work is not done. I don't know who said that. Was it Watson? Was it the mayor? Somebody said the work is not done, and it's not. We got to stay on top of it. Those CRA dollars have to be invested the right way. We want to empower people, not displace people. The folks that grew up here, we want them to be able to pull themselves out of poverty, not be displaced into another area. So that's important as we go forward. But we have come a long way, and I just want to thank everybody. Thanks so much.
At this time, we have one more testimony, and that is through Pinellas Opportunity Council.
Okay, we have the Getting Ahead program, followed by the Staying Ahead program, and we have a participant, Tabane Roberts, that would just like to share with you what she learned out of the Getting Ahead program and the Staying Ahead.
Hello, my name is Tabane Roberts. I have this long thing waiting, but I know I don't have that much time, so. Okay, so I was eligible to participate in the Getting Ahead program back in January. So when I got the invitation, I was very excited because it said Getting Ahead, and I wanted to get ahead. I had just moved from a women's shelter, CASA, into an apartment with 3 kids all by myself. So that was a scary time for me. I didn't know where to start, how to even begin my life. So right away, we learned a lot in the class. I was gonna take this out, but they already addressed it, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. We learned that there's 4 causes of poverty: individual choices and circumstances, community conditions, exploitations, political and economic structures. When I realized this, it came to me that this class was going to be more than what I thought it would be. So we learned that you can make enough money, but if you pay more than 30% of your income for rent or mortgage, you will be in poverty. So then I had to learn how to get out of poverty. The Getting Ahead class motivated me to want to be involved in learning more about how to help with making these changes. When the Getting Ahead program ended, we had developed a goal plan that we entered into the Staying Ahead program, which was more helpful. We got to work with mentors who we talked to during their monthly meetings and outside the meetings. The goal is to keep working in areas in our life that needed immediate attention. I was paired up with a wonderful lady who helped me come up with things I could introduce to my son to help him direct him to the right path. Well, he's 16, by the way. She even was willing to ask her son to mentor my son whenever he could. What do I see in my future? Well, my big dream is to become self-sufficient, become a homeowner, and earn enough money to support my family. I forgot to mention I have 3 kids. Most of all, I just want to raise kids that are aware of what I learned in my class. The hidden rules of economic class for people in poverty, middle class, and wealth. And prepare them to have at least a middle class way of thinking and to be aware of how this will impact our lives. That will help them make better choices in life. So what am I working on now? Building credit. I have now went back to school. I will be studying cybersecurity to increase my income. I have also started a group therapy with my 16-year-old son, which is the Face It program, to help him make good choices. By participating in this class, my life has changed in a way that I'm not afraid to make decisions or speak for my family and myself. I received tools and resources that I never knew were available. I highly recommend the program, Staying Ahead, and getting ahead. For people who are living in an unstable situation or living in poverty. Thank you, Pinellas County Opportunity Council, Joyce Robinson, the facilitator, for awarding me this opportunity to participate in Getting Ahead program.
All of the step participants, would you stand please and come forward? All the step participants. We're going to do a photo up front. Come on, step participants. We're so proud of you. And so proud of the staff that we've been working with them. You bring the kids because they're part of the step program. They're downstairs. Just bring them. Right on up. We're going to go on together, take pictures there. Isn't this great? We see these people every Tuesday night. We see these families every Tuesday night and spend time with them. This is most, how many families? We have 23 families that we work with here, and once again, thanks Pastor, because we had no place to bring them. And we leaned on the church, and the church was like, make it happen. And so these people whose lives have been changed, we appreciate them. Now those of you who are staff working with these families, would you stand and wave at us? We're up here. Oh, you're up here. Okay. Okay, great.
Which camera?
That one first.
No, you're fine.
Just make sure you get that one right there.
Okay. All right. Look at me and smile. Look at me this way. Smile. All right, keep smiling. All right, now I'm gonna do you guys here. Okay, now look at me, everyone. Look at me. And smile. One more, keep smiling. All right, now you guys here.
Yeah.
All right, now look at me. Over here. And smile. Keep smiling. All right, thank you.
Sounds fine.